Shalom, and welcome to Bible Stories as Blueprints of the Soul, your Biblical Hebrew podcast. Shalom, and welcome to our Biblical Hebrew podcast. Today I wish to speak to you about one ancient lore which is known in many languages. It's the Sleeping Beauty. Many years ago, in ancient kingdom, a baby girl was born to an ancient king and ancient queen. Everybody was so happy, and the king and the queen made a party and invited all the people in the kingdom to participate in the party. And among the participants were 12 fairies. Each one in her turn came to bless the baby girl. They blessed her with kindness and tenderness and love and wisdom. Whatever they had, they gave the new baby girl in a dress of a blessing. 11 fairies blessed the young baby. But when the turn of the 12th fairy arrived, she came and cursed the baby girl that she will be stabbed from a spindle in her 16th birthday and she will die. When the king heard her words, he was so worried. But suddenly from nowhere appeared a 13th fairy, and she corrected the words of the bitter fairy, the 12th fairy. And she said that in her 16th birthday, she might be stabbed, but she will not die. She will only sleep for 100 years. The king immediately commanded all the people in his kingdom to dispose and to evacuate any spindle from the kingdom. And so it was. Years have passed, and the 16th birthday of the princess arrived. And in the morning of her birthday, she made a tour in the palace. She wanted to meet new rooms, new attics, and new towers. In her daily walk in the palace, she arrived into a new tower, and she climbed up the stairs, and suddenly she noticed an old woman sitting there in one of the rooms with a needle and a thread in her hand. "Hello," she said to the old woman. "What do you have in your hand?" And the old woman said, "I have a needle and a thread, and I can stitch and sew." And the young princess, who had never seen a thread and a needle in her life, asked the old lady to use the thread and the needle. "Of course," said the old woman. "Try it." And the princess held the needle and the thread in her hand and stitched a few stitches until she made a movement and she stabbed herself with the needle. "Ouch," she said, and a drop of blood fell from her finger. And the moment it happened, she immediately froze and fell asleep, and with her the whole ancient kingdom. The cook in the kitchen froze with his wooden spoon. The gardener in the garden froze with his tools. The teachers were frozen in their chairs, reading the children's stories. Everything froze. And around the palace, bushes of roses started growing with many thorns. The rumor about what happened in this ancient kingdom traveled in the world, and many kings sent their sons to find the mysterious princess. When the men did their way to the palace to reach the princess, the thorns of the roses tear their flesh, and they died on the way. 100 years after this occasion happened, a king sent his son, the prince, to save the princess, the dear princess. And when the prince arrived the ancient kingdom and started walking in the fields, in the bushes of thorn, suddenly all the thorns and the roses moved away from his way, and he saw a new path coming. And he walked along the path until he arrived at the palace. And then he saw in the kitchen the cook with his wooden spoon, and the gardener with his tools frozen, and the teacher sitting with his book frozen in his chair. The children are sitting on the chairs frozen. And he continued in his way and arrived at the tower when the princess was lying on the floor, sleeping, and he kissed her. And suddenly she smiled and sat down and looked at him, and with her smile and wakening up, all the kingdom came to be alive again. We can abstract this lore in many ways. What is the meaning of 12? What is the meaning of the 13th fairy that had the ability to correct the curse of the 12th fairy? What is a needle? What is a thread? What is a spindle? But let us focus in one word, in one verb, kiss, to kiss. The verb kiss in Hebrew is nashak, nashak. The verb nashak is written in 3 letters: Nun, Shin, Kof. Nun equals 50. Shin equals 300. So together they make 350. The letter Kof is 100. So altogether the verb nashak, kissed, equals 450. 450 is 10 times 45. 45 double 10 is 450. And 45 is the value of the word Adam in Hebrew, human. Adam is written in 3 letters: Aleph, Dalet, Mem Sofit. Aleph equals 1, Dalet equals 4, and Mem Sofit equals 40. So 1 plus 4 equals 5 plus 40 equals 45. So the value of the word Adam, human, is 45. And 45 double 10 is nashak, kissed. So what is the meaning of the kiss that the prince kissed the princess? The meaning of the kiss is the full portion of humanity, 10 times human spirit. And this is why with the kiss, not just the princess came to be alive, but the whole kingdom. So next time when you think about this lore, legend, or kiss, think about the spirit of humanity. Wishing you a beautiful day and wonderful week. Thank you for listening to Bible Stories as Blueprints of the Soul. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions, comments, or would like to hear more about a certain topic, just write us an email to hebrew@learnoutlive.com. We are always happy to hear from you. For more episodes, videos, and articles like this, please visit our website at hebrew.learnoutlive.com. We also would like to invite you to join our live classes. Just search for Online College of Biblical Hebrew on Facebook and start learning now with students from all over the world. Koltuv and Shalom.